It's one of the most polarizing ideas in modern history, a movement born from desperation, hope, and ancient dreams, praised as liberation, condemned as colonialism. This is Zionism, the quest for a Jewish homeland. But what does it actually mean, and why does it still ignite passion and pain worldwide? Let's unpack the story behind the headlines. Zionism didn't start in a vacuum. For centuries, Jews faced persecution, from Spanish Inquisitions to Russian pogroms. But the 1800s brought a new crisis. Rising nationalism in Europe left Jews excluded, even as they assimilated. Enter Theodor Herzl, a secular Jewish journalist covering the Dreyfus affair in France. When he heard crowds chant death to the Jews, he wrote The Jewish State in 1896, arguing, "Safety requires sovereignty." Herzl wasn't the first to dream of Zion. Religious Jews prayed next year in Jerusalem for millennia, but he made it political. The first Zionist Congress in 1897 declared a homeland for the Jewish people in Palestine. But wait, who lived there already? Zionists bought land, drained swamps, and built cities like Tel Aviv. To them, this was redemption, turning a land without a people into a people without a land. But Palestine wasn't empty. Arab families had lived there for generations. Clashes erupted. The British, ruling post-Ottoman Palestine, made contradictory promises to both sides. The Balfour Declaration in 1917 backed a Jewish homeland, while Arab leaders demanded independence. By the 1930s, the Holocaust made Zionism existential. Survivors fled to Palestine, but Britain blocked ships. Jewish militias revolted. The UN's 1947 partition plan split the land. Jews accepted it, Arab states rejected it. In 1948, Israel declared independence. War followed. 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled. Israelis call this the War of Independence. Palestinians call it the Nakba, the catastrophe. Zionism isn't one idea. Labor Zionists dreamed of socialist utopias. Revisionists wanted a stronger military. Cultural Zionists like Ahad Ha'am sought a spiritual revival. And some Orthodox Jews opposed Zionism, believing only the Messiah could restore Israel. But after 1967, when Israel captured the West Bank and Gaza, religious Zionism surged, claiming biblical rights to Judea and Samaria. Settlements expanded, complicating peace hopes. Today, Zionism is a lightning rod. Supporters see Israel as a refuge amid rising anti-Semitism. Critics call it settler colonialism. The UN equates Zionism with racism to some, others call that a smear. Even Jews are divided. Progressive groups like Jewish Voice for Peace slam occupation, while others warn that denying Israel's right to exist fuels hate. Is Zionism about self-determination or displacement? Can you oppose Israeli policies but support Israel's existence? The debate's so toxic, many freeze. But avoiding it solves nothing. Some seek two states side by side, others demand one democratic state for all. Radicals on both sides want total control. Meanwhile, Israel thrives as a startup nation, yet grapples with internal divides, secular versus religious, Ashkenazi versus Mizrahi Jews. Palestinians face occupation and fractured leadership, but grassroots movements like Standing Together unite Jews and Arabs against violence. I'm Zionist because I want safety, but not at the cost of their freedom. My dream? Return home. But I'll settle for justice. Zionism is a story of survival and a story of pain. It's about ancient roots and modern conflicts. Whether you call it hope or hypocrisy, understanding it means listening to all its chapters. So, what's next? Can these narratives ever reconcile? Or is the gap too wide? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you learned something, and subscribe for more deep dives. History isn't finished writing this story.